Every single program in JavaScript, no matter how big or small, is built from just 7 simple types of data. Think of them like the ingredients in cooking. With just a few basics, you can make endless recipes. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the series. And if you haven't set up your JavaScript environment yet, check out the setup tutorial linked at the end of this video so you can follow along with me. So what are primitive types? When we talk to a computer, we need to tell it what kind of information we're giving it. So in real life, as you populate a form in either your mobile phone or your web browser, when you enter a phone number, it's numbers. And if you put name, and it is identified as text. And another example, a light switch can be on or off. In technical terms, that's like true or false. In JavaScript, these pieces of information are called primitive types. They're called primitive because they're the simplest, most basic forms of data. I am pasting these 7 primitive types to give you a visibility on what they are. When you see the word string, think of it as plain text. Anytime you write your name, a sentence, or even just one letter in quotes, JavaScript will see them as a string. Numbers in JavaScript are pretty flexible. This can be whole numbers like your age, decimals, your height. You don't need quotes around them. Just type them as they are. Boolean is the simplest type you'll ever use. It's either true or false, nothing in between. Think of it like a yes or no question. Is the light on? Then yes, it means true. No means false. Null, on the other hand, means empty, but on purpose. It's like saying, I know this box should have something, but right now I'm leaving it blank. You've decided there's nothing there for now. Undefined is different. It means you created the box, you forgot to put something in it. The computer is basically saying that you don't know what this value of this box is yet. Then a symbol are, think of them as secret labels that are always unique, even if two symbols look the same. The computer treats them as completely different tags. And finally, the big int is for when your numbers are way too large for normal math. Imagine trying to count all the grains of sand on a beach. That's the kind of number Big Int is built for. Notice how each type has its own role. Alone, they look simple, but just like Lego bricks, once you combine them, you can build entire applications, which you will learn in our future lessons. Without these building blocks, you can't write any program. If you're following along, try creating your own variables for each primitive type. If this explanation is helping, hit the like button so I know you're coding along with me, and join as a member to further support my channel. Now I'm pasting a live example of these 7 primitive types, and let us expand the script pane for better visibility. Let us first unpin the application menu so we could have more space as we expand the script pane. Now, as we move to line 19, here we are storing the word bill inside the variable name called name. In programming, we call text like this as a string. Think of it like filling in your name on a form. The codes tell JavaScript this is text, not a number or anything else. And later on, as we run the script found at the bottom of this menu on the lower left, the run script, as we scroll back up, the computer will print these text values, name is equals to bill. So think of it as this all examples that we have provided, and as you are familiar on the different technologies like web and mobile, this is a representation of a form where you, for example, you put your first name, your last name, your age, and so on. And on the front end, this is the front end, or we call it the UI or the user interface, is the representation of the different variables that we are basically explaining at this stage. And as we submit the form, the technology now consumes the data that you have provided and stores them into a variable. And this variable types that we are showing has to be correctly identified on its correct type. And on this example, we are representing the 7 primitive types. And as we move forward, I'll give you more complex scenarios explained in layman's term so you could easily transition coming from a non-technical background into an expert JavaScript developer. Next, we have numbers on line 23, and we have represented the age as 30 and the height is 5.9. So JavaScript doesn't separate whole numbers from decimals. They're all just numbers. It's the same if you like to write your age or your height on a form. So as we print it later, you will see the age and the height respectively. In Boolean variables, it is a yes or no, true or false type of value. So the naming normally starts with an is to verify if the variable is set to true, which means yes, this person is a developer. And booleans are like a switch. It's either on, which is true, or off, which is false. So as you declare a boolean, it will only contain two types. It's either true or false. And on line 32, we created a variable called job, but we didn't give it a value. So as we print later on, JavaScript will declare it as undefined. It's like leaving a blank space on a form with no answer written. So the output of this variable of job will be undefined. So this time we did give a value, but we gave it a null value. Null means empty or in purpose. For example, if someone asks what car you drive, and if you don't own one, you might write not applicable. That's what null represents. The output of car here will be null. Now let us scroll down to the script for visibility. Now let us talk about symbol. A symbol is a unique identifier, even if you create two symbols with the same description. JavaScript still treats them as different. Think of it like giving two people secret codes. They might be called ID, but each code is unique under the hood. When we print it, you will see something symbol and the ID. So you can see here that we have added a toString method, but I don't like you to worry about this at this stage since you will learn this in our future lessons. And finally, we have the big int. This is for numbers so large that JavaScript's normal number type can't handle them anymore. Imagine trying to count all the stars in the sky or every grain of sand on a beach. That's why the kind of huge number is a big int is meant for. Notice that little n at the end that tells JavaScript this is a big int, not a regular number. The output shows the full number exactly as it is. Now let us run this script to give you a full visibility of the outcomes. Now, after we run the script, you can see that the variable has taken shape into a form like, and in a nutshell, variable are containers. And what computer does, the data being contained is being processed automatically onto a desired outcome. Now, the technology has created variables and variable types to ensure organization and correct processing on every type of data. And as you follow for more, you will see examples on how data will be processed. So in summary, in plain English, strings are text wrapped in codes. Numbers are just math values using without codes. Booleans are true or false, like yes and no questions. Undefined means we haven't decided yet. Null means we decided and there's nothing there. Symbols are secret unique tags. Big int is for really big numbers. So the key takeaways here, primitive types are the foundation of all data in JavaScript. They are simple and cannot be changed directly. Mastering them prepares you for objects, which are like containers that hold many values together. So here's the bottom line. Primitive types are the language's alphabet. Once you know them, you can start putting them together to form words, sentences, and even entire stories throughout your code. So next up, watch my tutorial on JavaScript objects to see how we combine these primitives into more powerful structures. Don't forget to subscribe so you can follow the full series and join as a member to keep the videos coming. Thanks for joining me today. Let's keep building your JavaScript skills one block at a time.